Welcome back. This is Michelle from Michelle's Empty Nest, and today I am going to do week 4 in my Project Life 2022. This will also count as day 3 in the load challenge over at the Scrap Happy website. Over there for the load challenge, it can be any kind of layout other than a card. It has to be a layout, but it can be Project Life, it can be digital, it can be hybrid, it can be any other size pocket page, it can be a traditional page, it can be traveler's notebooks. So I don't have time today to do a Project Life spread and another spread as well. So I'm not going to worry about the prompts for the story or the technique today, because I do like to try to get my Project Life done by Thursday of the following week. And so that's what day we're on right now. So I just thought I'd kind of do a 2-for-1, and this is going to count for Project Life and for the load challenge today. I have not done as much prep work as I normally do for a Project Life video. I like to kind of have things a little bit more prepped and ready so that it's a little bit faster to go together, but I thought maybe you might like to see a little bit more of the process. So I do have my photos. I do have some digital elements because I still don't have my January stories by the month for 2022. It has not arrived yet. It's still one of those things with the extreme shipping delays from Allie's website. And I've run out of things from the 2021 stories by the month kit. So I had to move to some digital products today. And so I'll talk about those. I am going to make my own chipboard with one of the digital pieces just to give it a little bit of something. And I'm really not going to do much else in the way of embellishing again this week because my photos are pretty busy and colorful, and there's not a lot of room to really put embellishments on these anyway. So I am still using the Canon Glossy +2 or 2+, whatever that one is, for things that go inside of page protectors, because I have some and I need to use it up. And I honestly don't mind the glossy look as long as it's in the page protectors. I've mentioned before, I have switched over to the Pro Luster from Canon for things that are outside of the page protector, because it just doesn't show up the fingerprints and just the other little nicks and scratches that your work can get when it's outside of the pocket. So I've got these on that Photo Plus Glossy 2. And then I do still print my digital elements on the Canon matte photo paper, because I feel like that gives me the most true and vibrant color to what is actually like in the physical kit. Now, I did have to print this out twice, because if I print my work on matte photo paper, I'm sorry, I'm struggling with the words here for a second. If I print my elements out that have typing on them where I've worked in Photoshop, and I do on photo paper best as my settings, it always gives me kind of this shadow double effect. And so I forgot about that when I was printing it out, and so I had to go back and print it just being on plain paper without choosing photo paper, still on the best setting. But you can see there is I don't know if it's going to show up, but this one is not quite as a rich and vibrant color because it wasn't on the photo setting, even though it's on this photo paper. I did toy around with putting a rectangle down at the bottom, but I decided to do something different. So I've got to pull from both of these pieces of paper. Now, I've also got this. This is like what would come in if you order from scrapbook.com, things like that, where you get packs of paper or a lot of different sheets of paper, and they'll put this as a backing. So it is chipboard. It's not really thick, so I have cut out 2 circles. They're a little wonky because my 2.5 inch, that's the size I decided to go with, it would not punch all the way through. So what I had to do was just squeeze as hard as I could, give myself a little a nick right there one time, and just get the impression and then cut it out with scissors. I did better on this one than I did on this one, so it'll probably go on the bottom. And then this will go on top for January memories. So anyway, after all that rambling, I am going to go ahead and get you put on fast forward, get all this stuff cut, put together, and we'll see what it looks like at the end. So let's do it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and throw out another quick apology that I'm sorry my voice still sounds rough and that I may not be quite as peppy as usual. I am doing my best, and most days I sound worse than I feel, so that's a good thing, right? So I decided to go ahead and start off by making my little DIY chipboard, and because I wanted the glue to have plenty of time to dry. So my circles, as I mentioned, are not perfect because my circle punch would not cut all the way through this chipboard. So I'm going to take some pretty sturdy scissors here and just go around the edges where it was a little lumpy and bumpy and get that all straightened up so it looks nice and neat, and then it's kind of serves like a regular piece of chipboard. And I did, put the 2 layers there, so it's not flat. You can tell there's some dimension and depth there. All right, so I was happy with that. That's the first time I've tried to make my own chipboard, and it was very easy. So I did spend most of the time for this layout at my computer working on Photoshop and getting these cards recolored to match from my photos. I mostly did that card that's going to end up, it's in the middle right now with the little blocks on it, different colors. I chose a lot of those colors to recolor the title card, the little dots on that 3 things to make the January memories circle that I made into chipboard, to just make it all match my photos as best I could, because this kit was bright colored and it did not match what I had. This again is the January 2022 Stories by the Month digital kit. So this is how the layout's going to end up going, and I'm going to use my Suquang score tape to put down my chipboard piece. It's good and dry. That Barely Arts glue dries pretty quickly. And then I have a label, I'm pretty sure it's from Illustrated Faith, and it ended up matching really well. So I was trying to decide which side of the card I want to put it on, and I'm going to go ahead and date that. And, this was a slow week. I was not feeling well, so I just have a couple of selfies. I have the picture of the puzzle, and I have 2 screenshots of stories that I shared about the Enneagram on Instagram. But I think that's okay. I'm an empty nester. I do not work outside of the home. And my husband works a lot of hours, so a lot of times it's just me. We're both dealing with COVID right now, so it's okay. You don't have to be, a parent to small children. You don't have to be working. You don't have to be married. You don't have to be anything to have a Project Life spread that's representative of you and your life. And it's just perfectly fine to do what you can. So I did realize I needed to go back and make 2 more 3x4 cards to hold these little smaller square selfies. And so that's what I did. I just went back to my computer, recolored a couple of cards again, and then I'm going to add those on and just use some tiny attacher staples to just give it a little bit of something other than a flat photo. Okay, I'm going to call this one done right here. I love how I was able to take the digital elements and make them really coordinate well with my photos. The photos ended up kind of having somewhat of a cohesive color scheme with some black and these peachy colors. The pink kind of tied in a little bit. Even the blue and the shirt back here tied in kind of this teal color. So I like how that looks. I love when it looks very cohesive. Again, it's very simple. I just added the 1 chipboard piece that I made, and I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. So here it is a little closer, if you want to see that. And then the last bit, and I'll read you my journaling real quick. It's very short. Number 1 says, as I'm still dealing with the lingering effects of COVID-19, my selfie game was pretty pitiful this week, but I still felt it was important to get in front of the camera in order to document all the real parts of life. So this was actually my Thursday 3 photo from last week, and this was my me and my week photo, which I do on Saturdays. And like I said, you know, I just feel like it's important to have the pretty pictures and the kind of not so pretty pictures where I'm looking kind of a little sad and down and defeated. But you know, it's all part of life, and I think it all deserves to be documented. Number 2 says we started a new puzzle this week. It's a replica of Van Gogh's The Starry Night. I love the painting and thought it would be fun to recreate it in puzzle form. However, it's proving itself to be quite the challenge. And even though it has letters on the back of the puzzle pieces to help you figure out the section it goes into, it was a very difficult puzzle. We've since finished it up, and it was a tough one, but we enjoyed doing it. And then number 3, I love all things to do with personality test, and the Enneagram is probably my favorite. No matter the content creator, I always find these infographics to be spot on with who and what I am. It's kind of amazing to me. And that is 100% true that anything I read on these things are probably 95% true. I'm an Enneagram type 1 with my wing is almost split between 3 and 4 if you're interested, if you're into Enneagram. And so that's what I am. So I'm going to end the video here. I appreciate you stopping by today so very much. It means more to me than you will ever know. If you enjoyed the video, I would love a thumbs up down below, and let me know, are you doing Project Life this year? Do you do it weekly or monthly? How are you approaching it? What size are you using? Let's have a little conversation down in the comments below. And if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I would certainly appreciate you doing that and becoming a part of my little YouTube family over here. There will be close-ups at the end as well as over on Instagram, where I would love for you to follow me as well. And until I see you in the next video, take care of yourself, do something good for yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.